Well, welcome along for what they call the English week in German football. Dritte Liga is back quickly after the weekend action. And a massive match, as they all are at the top of the table. There we see in the tunnel, Energie Cottbus taking on TSV 1860 München. Cottbus looking for the energy of their home stadium after they got a vital victory at the weekend. Now looking to follow that up with a return to winning ways at home, where they have struggled to secure maximum points. Incredibly, 4 home draws in a row. But Claude Data was certainly hoping for better. He's gone with the same side that beat Havelse 3-0. In particular, the goals from Tolga Sergsi, as well as Axel Borgman, the captain, and Moritz Hannemann. Giving a day off to Eric Engelhardt, the top scorer for the club, joint second. Well, applaud there for the fans from Klaus-Dieter Vollitz. And now from the home support for Energie Cottbus, along with the visitors from Bavaria. Well, the Lions won 5 in a row to put themselves into promotion contention, but since then they haven't quite had the same roar. Markus Kozinski's side winless in 3, a draw and 2 defeats, as he looks for better tonight, but not the easiest of grounds to come to. However, 1860 Munich with a 3-0 win in the reverse fixture at the Grunwalder Strasse Stadium. It's certainly Energie Cottbus, who are looking to try and end this midweek second in the table. They're a point behind Rot-Weiss Essen, and all of the top 5 are in action tonight. Well, he has been the main man, goals and assists. Heavily in double figures for goal involvements. Tolga Sergi. Florian Lechner taking charge, as it's a return for Tore Jakobsen, 1860 captain, in place of the continued injured Jasper Verlaat. Making his return against the side he scored a brace against in that aforementioned 3-0 win. So he is back in as part of 2 changes. 20-year-old Samuel Adhaus made his first ever start. Now he's back on the bench, and Steinkotter replaces Patrick Hobsch in a front 2 with Hogan. Well, a huge match, and desperate is Vollitz to see a return to winning ways on home soil. How will things shake out? Kevin Forland hasn't quite shown the goal-scoring form the 1860 fans would have hoped for when he returned to his first club, but he does get us underway. Energie Cottbus with a chance to try and move second in the table if results are favourable, while 1860 Munich can try and reignite their promotion drive with a much-needed victory. As mentioned, Cottbus 4 successive home draws. Two 1-1s and a couple of goalless draws in it as well, so goals have been a struggle. Their last home success came at home at the end of January against Hoffenheim's reserves. But they still make an almighty racket here in the Energie Stadion, as they still search out a return to Bundesliga 2. For 1860, once again seeing a mid-season managerial change. Have often ended a season strongly, only to falter the following campaign. Markus Kozinski trying to keep dreams of return to the second tier alive. But to do that, they'll feel they need to win, especially after a recent defeat away at Duisburg, another very much in the fight for elevation from the Dritte Liga. And of course the Zebras now hosting the lead leaguers Osnabrück, who are the ones looking pretty on this match day 32 midweek lineup. Starting the night 6 points clear of Rot-Weiß Essen, who are on the road at Schweinfurt, bottom of the table. So it's going to be a tough ask for Energie Cottbus, and especially if that ball had been a bit better for Hogan. Marius Funk able to gather without too much stress. Was very happy to get a clean sheet in their last outing after failing in the previous two. Now here's Tolga Segersi, little 1-2. The ball breaking. Some calls for a handball, but referee not exactly convinced. Max Reinthaler, Italian defender in the middle of the back three for the Lions. Simon Fult, Raphael Schafferl to his left and right, and it's the latter who takes a bit of a chance, but the ball does run out for the Austrian under pressure though from Axel Borgmann, the captain, who was a goal scorer in that 3-0 away Dave success for Wölitz. That was while at the weekend it was a late Hogan goal, his 12th of the season, as the Norwegian rescued a point for Kaczynski's 1860. Really frustrating result at home to Waldorf Mannheim. The winning train came off the rails, and looking to try and get it back on track. Long throw about to be launched. Bit of a struggle in the box, but maybe Cottbus can't keep possession. Down the line from Jakobsen. Trying to just keep that in, but Philip Meyer just seeing it trundle behind. Taken short to Samuel Manu. A little flick on and a bit of space to work in as it's spread by Engelhardt. Borgmann always happy to drive forward and try and create, but he goes himself. A good block, but not a great clearance. Applause from the crowd as Simon Strodi leaves it to their number 10. Lovely little exchange. Still waiting for the first clear-cut chance of the match, but excellent football almost getting Energie Cottbus in. Ball swung in, cleared away. You see Toke Sgachi on the field, number 10. We saw Toga Serchi in the stands, the 34-year-old, suffering a fibre muscle injury. Frustration for him. But Toke Serchi trying to play the creator. 14 goals and double figures for assists as well. Here he is again. It's a fantastic little pass and an exchange that gives it back to Dominic Pelevan. 1860 though, put a bit of pressure on, and Kevin Forlan finds Hogan, back to the former German international. The last time these sides met in Bavaria, a 3-0 victory for 1860. That followed on from back-to-back 5-1 scorelines in this fixture. An incredible set of results last season, both sides winning at home by that scoreline. So certainly some bitter memories. The Lions' last visit here. Giacchi, one of the goal scorers, one of the few survivors with plenty of change in the Energie Cottbus starting 11. That fixture, they were 1-0 down after just 3 minutes, so it's certainly been an improvement thus far for the visitors, as Tim Danoff looks a bit bemused. Referee trying to calm down the situation. Seems to have sorted it out, and the visitors could push on. Borgman under pressure, tries to use Danoff, but a little bit untidy. But Cottbus now looking for an escape route. Calling for it is Straudi. Good pressure as Voigt stepped out of the back three. Big switch from Sajaci. Well mopped up. Well, a 5-1 defeat on the last visit, but Lions did win their visit prior to that. February 2019. Showing that these sides haven't been sharing the same division till the last couple of seasons. That's a bit of a mistake. Steinkota, though, couldn't keep it under control. Bogut does well to take that in, almost going down, but deciding instead to spread it to Danoff. It's kept in by the wing back. looking for a bit of support. Gets it from his captain, who now clips it forward. Easily dealt with by Samuel Manu. A super play to find Tiarchi. Lovely little pass into Engelhardt. That's really well read by Folland. Danoff finds Meyer. Energie Cottbus are unbeaten in 10, 9 in fact in Dritte Liga at home. The last defeat was against the league leaders Osnabrück in early November last year. They just haven't been able to turn enough of those results into wins. Just 4 of the 9 bringing all 3 points home. For 1860, they were having a wonderful time away from Bavaria, starting with a 5-0 thrashing of Havelse. And then success away at Hoffenheim reserves and Victoria Köln. Kozinski in 1860, bitterly disappointed. A last-minute winner for Duisburg. And seeing Jakobsen sent off in injury time. Of course, the midfielder back this evening. Tolkei Stiarchi. Danoff takes it down, but he's got to find a way out. Done pretty well to get a bit of distance, but Borgman, there's a bit of danger in the air. Can they get a shot away? Meyer back for Thomas Dana. Brilliant touch and turn from Folland. Just casually finds the feet. The Norwegian hitman Sigurd Hogan. All fans not happy, but free kick against Moritz Hannemann. Well, he got his 7th of the season in the mid that weekend victory over Havelse. And only 2 sides in Dritte Liga this season has scored more than Energie Cottbus. Yet to add to their 58 this campaign. Strong work means Steinkota has earned a corner. So the first of the match for 1860 Munich. Can they profit from it? Ball swung in. It's a strong header at the near post. Folland's loose header might put the visitors in trouble. Tiarchi. Early ball, but it's 1860 Lions who were the nearer. Needed a bit more height and distance to get in behind. Pelevan. Straudi. Happy to go back to Manu. Super attempt to play that ball through, but it is cut out. Reinthaler. in a rush and they find a little triangle. Now Forland loses out a lovely little nutmeg. Gets Yanis Boziarsis on his way, and he's dribbling all the way. The deflection suits 1860 at the expense of a corner. It could have been a lot worse. Lovely little nutmeg by Siarchi. And then the run from Borziaris. Couldn't find that gap. Try and add to his 3 goals this campaign. Ball swung in low. The referee noticing something. I think they may get to take a retake as it gets a little bit heated. Well, Manu certainly unhappy. Nyamekye Awardvi Grant trying to play peacemaker. So Manu and Meyer just getting a talking to. You can see Meyer was trying to block that run of Manu. Referee still keeping a close eye as it swung in, near post header. It's a little bit of an awkward one. Dana just pams it down. And it will be another corner, not overly convincing from the Lions keeper, but not taking any chances. Ball taken short. Boziaris set up for a little clip, but the header away has given an opportunity for Forland. Just gets a little unlucky. The home crowd getting a little frustrated. No wonder. Long time since they've seen their side win. The victory over Hoffenheim's reserves was also the last time they scored more than one at home. The run of draws starting with a 1-1 against Waldorf Mannheim, goalless against Ferl and Hansa Rostock, before a 1-1 stalemate with Ulm towards the end of March. There was 3 winless before victory at Havelse, including a 4-1 thumping at the hands of Alemannia Aachen, who are the side with the only players who have either scored as many or more than Eric Engelhardt. Lars Gindorf, the top scorer with 20. Mika Schureuers equal with Engelhardt with 16 Dritte Liga strikes. 1960, an incredible run, 5 victories, ended with a disappointing home draw against Weyen. They want to certainly keep this scoreline blank. Dana to the rescue then. Good strike, but straight at the goalkeeper from Bazarius. He had his opportunity to get his foot through this. There were some bodies in the way, but he'll be frustrated. He didn't do more with the opportunity. Excellent cutback from Hanman. It was Djerci who wanted it. It came for Boziaris. Kozinski, at times on their winning run, he admitted they weren't necessarily playing particularly well, certainly very well in certain moments. To even be in with a shout of fighting for a top 3 position is more than any Lions fan could have hoped for. But it's going to have to be an almighty strong finish to the campaign. Starting the match 7 points shy of Energie Cottbus and 8 of Rot-Wat Essen. Of course, the top 2 automatic promotion, 3rd place into a playoff, 4th place the opportunity to play in the German Cup. Only 4 points between Ferl and 1860 from 4th to 7th. It's going to take another magnificent winning run. But they could start here with Forlund digging under the effort. Just the 4 goals this campaign since returning to the club. Certainly not an easy opportunity. The way it was sitting up, I would have hoped to have caught it sweeter. There's the referee getting involved. A little shrug. Can suddenly become invisible. So at the moment, on this Tuesday night, the first half of matchday 32, as a few hearts fluttered with that heavy touch back. So far, just the 2 goals. Jan Regensburg leading against Erzgebirge Aue. Aue looking done and dusted in their vain attempt to beat the drop. While Hoffenheim's reserves leading Vodov Mannheim. We're focusing the top half of the table, and as it stands, Cottbus and 1860 yet to be separated. Schaffer tracking his man strongly. There's a handball going against Djerci. 1860 tried to get on with things quickly. Cottbus not happy with either the original decision nor the latter. Djerci doing a little dance. Question of who will get down tonight. Finding a precious victory. Vogt smashed that at Kevin Forlund. Belgian heading forward again. It's all a bit untidy. Not much in the way of flow for 1860. Energie Cottbus frustrated, although they should probably be happy. That one angled to Thomas Danner, who will get a second opportunity. So only Ferl in the top 5 not in action as they host 6th place Hansa Rostock. As a booking is out for Raphael Schaffer, he says he's only had one. It's not exactly how the referees judge it. Certainly catching him late and high. And Axel Borgman downed by the Austrian. early yellow card with a quarter of the first. Schaffer getting a block in there, a little bit of communication breakdown it almost seemed like, but eventually Littmann took control, but Dana had to be very careful under pressure from Engelhardt. Ball played back, it was a heavy first touch. Delighted to see a goal kick given. Nice little back heel from Meyer. Now for Jakobsen, the captain. Bit of space for Meyer as he spreads it. Bit better football from 1860 Munich. Attempt to just return the ball from Forlund, but Littmann couldn't get there as he now looks to press Straudi. Marius Funk launches high. Ciarci puts a bit of pressure on. Bit of a bump there from Engelhardt. 1861 a free kick, but they're not getting one as the striker fires for goal. But a comfortable save for Dana. A couple of little bumps. Referee not interested as Engelhardt got on with it. Foot did it well to just put a bit of pressure on. Dana comfortable behind it. Bit of space and time for Samuel Mano. Straudi. Ciarci. Nice little interchange that gets Maziaris. Turns it wonderfully to Pelevan. Comes back to the midfielder. Chance to deliver. Plenty of red and white shirts waiting. And that is a delicious delivery. That is tucked away by Energie Cottbus's top marksman, Erik Engelhardt. 70 goals for the season. More importantly, it is the opening goal. Volitz absolutely delighted. And it all stemmed from the double of Bellaris and then Pelevan. The former. What a delivery that is. Engelhardt could not miss. The second best marksman in the division. 1860 Munich under pressure, wanted to get out of a funk. The quality of the cross from Boziaris absolutely took out the 1860 defence. Now having to come from behind, but Forlund has played a wonderful ball for Hogan. Well, he couldn't control it, but even if he had, the flag. Well, the home fans certainly making the most of the opportunity to raise the volume in the Energie Stadion. And it could get even better. Ciarci wanted the return, but it didn't reach him. Stepping forward is Awortve Grant. Cerci happy to go where the ball and the space is. Samuel Mano. Flip forward, but easily dealt with by defender Reinthaler. Clipped forward. Howard V. Grant looking for Moritz Hannemann. Now the defender having to pedal backwards. That's really well dealt with by Dominic Pelevan. Energie Cottbus just trying to quell any 1860 enthusiasm. And now they've got bodies flooding forward. Cerci couldn't release it though, but it's given it back cheaply by the Lions. Played out to Boziaris. Mitchell Brink to the byline. Incredible. 2 goals in the space of a couple of minutes. Well, he might be injured on the sidelines. He's certainly feeling part of the party, Tolga Cerci. 2-0, the first time they've scored 2 at home since the end of January. And they look in a very good place to return to winning ways at Energie Stadion. Eric Engelhardt at the double. 1860 though, making it far too easy. No challenges. Look how Mitchell Brink just skipped through. Recently making his debut for Lithuania in the international break. And he just put it on the plate as Boziaris had before. And Engelhardt, 18 now for the season, as Kaczynski's Lions are sinking without a trace. Three minutes between the goals. Engelhardt making this look like another very tough outing at the Energie Stadium. 5-1 on their last visit here. It's already 2-0. Just over 7 years since they last won at this ground. Now they're going to be fighting just to try and earn a point. Cottbus not looking to let them off the hook. That's an awful long time since this club have been in the 2 top divisions of German football, since their relegation from Bundesliga 2 in 2014. Amazingly, they spent most of that time in the regional ligas. After the heartbreak of finishing 4th last term, their intent on confirming a return to the big time. And those fans can certainly dream of even better, but it is an awful long time since they were last in the top division. 27 years. But first things first, needing to make sure they can even confirm the 3 points here, but it's looking very good so far. Claude Dieter-Folletz's side with a very comfortable looking 2-0 lead. And that incident and Jakobsen's frustration only underlying What a bad evening it's been so far for the Lions. The Cottbus fans serenading their heroes on the pitch. Lovely little touch from Jaci. Straudi. The Lions chasing shadows at the moment. Brink takes again, and easy pass to Samuel Manu, to his defensive partner, Awardve Grant. Returns to sender. Well, just asking for a little bit of calm. Cottbus don't want to give any encouragement. 1860 struggling to keep possession, let alone create chances. The goal very much changed the atmosphere, giving the long run winless. But a third goal, since that would be game, set and match. 1860 desperate to get back in this. Hogan held up, floored, and play on. Jaci trying to feed it down the line, but easily cut out. It's won back quickly. Bosiaris winning it back and then taking the pass. Big challenge from Hogan. Sends Bosiaris to the ground. Hogan still wearing that mask, but it can't mask the real despair the Lions fans will be feeling. Yanis Bosiaris. Excellent cross for the opening goal. Arriving in the summer from FCA Waldorf. Come through Hoffenheim and Stuttgart amongst others during his youth. 22-year-old really starting to find his rhythm, the red and right. Borgman, captain, clips it forward. Schaffer goes flying. Lovely little shift from Hanneman. Just playing it in between, but Borgman, his left back position, doing a Andy Robertson against Man City years ago impression. Not quite the same finishing mark. Brink. Just 5 minutes plus stoppage time before the half-time break, and Energie Cottbus are certainly feeling good about themselves. As it is, they'll stay as you were in the top three, at least in terms of Rot-Weiß Essen, who lead by a goal to nil at Schweinfurt. Although the good news for Cottbus and Essen is Osnabrück are losing to Duisburg. That would mean there's just 4 points between the top three. A defeat tonight, along with a Duisburg victory, sense would end 1860's fading dreams of a top four finish. Schaffel's header, Meyer. It's a long, aimless ball that's easily recovered. Cottbus, Tjerci. A switch that was well read by Tim Danoff. Yet it falls kindly for Hanneman. Nothing going right for 1860. They just want to make sure it doesn't get worse. Lovely interchange, Bosiaris. Just couldn't keep the ball at feet, but that's won back brilliantly. Just curled wide of the post. So okay, Tjerci looking for his 15th of the season. Started the night joint third in the scoring charts with 5 others. Close to a little bit further up the table. As quickly as we see the replay, Energie Cottbus are back in possession. Dominic Pellevin. Mortivi, Grant, Manu. Tjerci wants it, always wanting to be on the ball. The Cottbus number 10. Well, frustration for Mitchell Brink, but he watches on as Cottbus almost find that cutting thread again. Fallen taken out. It will be the second yellow card of the match, and it's for the goal scorer Engelhardt, who's getting an earful from Forland. Bit of a bundle over. Not an awful lot in it. It certainly stopped Fallen from getting 1860 on the break. Referee having to play shield. Well, quite the half for Engelhardt. A booking, but more importantly, 2 goals. And that has Energie Cottbus on easy street thus far. And the 27-year-old is certainly enjoying the campaign. It's his best ever scoring charts by a country mile in Dritte Liga. It was Osnabrück where he scored 11 times a few years back. 19's his best ever for Cottbus in the regional ligas. He only managed 2 in 18 last term on his return to Energie. But my oh my, as he found his form this campaign. It's his goals that separate the side. And it looks like going into the break with not a definitive as yet. A very strong 2-0 lead for it. It's a tough one for Justin Steinkotter to control, particularly under pressure. Two minutes to be added on. 2-4 so far is the magic number for Cottbus. Now, big chance, a big swing and a miss from Justin Steinkotter. That would have been the real shot in the arm 1860 we're looking for. Good ball from Forlan, but Steinkotter did a lot of hard work there. And when the chance that he helped create, he couldn't add to his solitary goal in his previous 17 appearances. That goal came in that 5-0 thumping of Havelse away in mid-February. Since Valentine's Day, there's not been another. And this just his second start since a goal-scoring appearance. Is there a goal-scoring end to the half? Well, that was answered during the question. Chachi applauding the pass, if not his ability to reel it in. But Hogan, so well marshalled. But now, awards by Grant to make sure he got back in position, but his teammates have helped rescue any potential danger. Well, what will Marcus Kozinski do at the break? He needs something to shake 1860 out of their funk. Well, Marius Funk and co, thanks to the goals of Engelhardt, are looking pretty with a 2-0 lead. Thomas Dana thumps the ball away in fury as Engelhardt is now 18 goals for the season, as he makes his apologies for clattering Forland. But it's Volentz's Energie Cottbus who have given 1860 a bloody nose. Can they convert? And they lead 2-0 at the halftime break. Well, welcome back as 1860 head back out. There has, by the looks of it, already been a switch in place. Energie Cottbus certainly looking healthy with their 2-0 lead. Can they at least maintain it or potentially add to Erik Engelhardt's double? A striker in the right place at the right time to tuck home and putting Munich under supreme pressure. Well, Jakobsen replaced a young midfielder to return to the starting lineup after suspension. It does look like Samuel Otos is going to be called upon. Having made his first start the previous outing, he is on. 20-year-old also joined in a double switch by Kozinski. Lasse Forsman, the 19-year-old, only made his top team breakthrough this campaign, comes on for a 6th appearance of the season. So 1860 looking to find a change because they desperately need one, falling 2-0 down thanks to Erik Engelhardt. His brace certainly has the Lions under real pressure. Energie Cottbus certainly not sitting back. Coordinator Voritz sure asked his side not to sit back, not quite hammering the opponents as Moritz Hannemann did there. That's a welcome to Fassmann to this encounter. So confirmation then is Raphael Schafferl, who's headed off for Fassmann. Looks like they will try and continue where they left off, but hope for better results. Again, Steinkotter working hard, but it's going to be a tough place to find a teammate, as Autos has replaced the ineffective Philip Meyer. Well, they're keeping in good spirits. They've been used to heartache since dropping down into the 3rd tier. Initially it was down to the regional ligas in Bavaria after losing their place in the top 2 divisions in 2017. They won that at the first time of asking, but since then the best they have managed is 4th in Dritte Liga. That was in 2021-22 campaigns under Michael Kölner, and since his spell in charge they haven't had the same kind of consistency. Trying to keep the faith with their captain Jakobsen, hoping to deliver a real shock to Cottbus in the opening minutes of this second half. Strong header away. Tim Danoff recovers it. Now clipped forward. Headed away. Pasiaris, certainly one of the best performers in that first half. Spreads it to Engelhardt, who hears a call and lets it run. Mitchell Brink, German-born, now 2-time capped for Lithuania in the recent March internationals. All clipped in. Danoff, though, heads down, but can only find Mitchell Brink, who is bounding his way through, but slices off target. They managed 73 minutes in 2 appearances for Lithuania. Trying to use that extra boost of confidence of being an international player. already with an assist for the second goal. He's hopeful of adding a goal himself. A foul from Jakobsen is certainly a major turnaround for when he got a double in the corresponding fixture in Bavaria. A 3-0 win for the Lions so far is being avenged. Well, a conference taking place. Borgman, of course, the captain, but it's Torke Zerchi. You'd expect to be favourite here. Well, he does have the company of Yanis Bosiaris. It is the latter who clips it in. Strong defending from Samuel Fort. Bosiaris ending up covering defender. Tim Danoff sees it skip off his head. Couldn't get a clean header, and that puts Pelivan on the ball. Engelhardt reacts to put Danoff under pressure, who does better this time to find Forlund. Lovely little layoff there, but just not enough on the ball to put Steinkotter in behind. Excellent defending from Samuel Manu. Pelivan, he did just get the ball away as Dana shows his footwork. Then clips long, lovely little flick on. But it won't stick for Hogan. Oh, strong challenge. Referee says he won the ball. Nordvi Grant was certainly fully committed. Touch for the lanky youngster. He's just come off the bench. Otos. Tim Danoff with a chance to cross. Delays it. Waits for support. It's a poor ball. And well, snappled up. Nordvi Grant. Switch of play. Certainly a much better start. It couldn't have been much worse in the first half performance. The Lions certainly making more of a contest of it. It's taken them until the second half to do so. Engelhardt spins his man, looking for support. The ball breaks for Mitchell Brink. Somehow sneaks his way, then only finds the side netting. Well, looking for his first goal of the season. Lovely little nutmeg, but then rushed the finish. Brimming with confidence. Certainly easier when leading by 2-0. Claude Dieter Volitz will be desperate for his side to make sure they don't give any encouragement to 1860 as they search for a first home win in 5 to really reignite their drive to get one of the top 2 promotion places. But now it could be real trouble. But what a challenge by Borgman, but Tim Danoff, the cutback for Forlund. Oh, it's cleared off the line. Huge let-off for Cottbus. Their lead remains intact, but it could have been cut in half. Steinkotter, brilliant block from Axel Borgman, but then Danoff with the cutback. Forlund on target as a deflection. Fortunately for the hosts, found Samuel Manu. Well, is that the let-off? Red and Whites need to refocus. It's taken too long for 1860 to get up to scratch, but certainly making a game of it now. Question for Marcus Kozinski. Is it going to be too little, too late? Well, Kozinski certainly will be buoyed. Now his side have come back out with the reinforcements of Altos and Fassmann. Tim Danoff again finds Folland. Little spin, but and 3 red shirts around him. Well, Derchi ran into trouble, but it's run back for him. Now a little reverse ball. Strong challenge, Fassmann. Had to get that right and did. Well, player stays down, Yanis Bazarius. Dana on the scene. Fassmann just blocking there, and in doing so, his trailing leg caught Boziaris. Clearly not a free kick, but doesn't mean he's not hurt. But here was a great block from Borgman. Danoff with a smart ball back. Folland so unlucky. Zavort V, Grant and Samuel Manu together denied a goal back. It's a third spell in charge for Claude Dieter-Vollitz, and also been director of football at the club. Incredible career with Energie. Has had spells elsewhere, but this is true love. Will he be able to see Energie Cottbus back into Bundesliga 2? This is 202nd match since returning to the Energie Stadion. It's certainly a very awkward-looking second half. The flag coming to the rescue there, though. Steinkotter would have squared for Hogan, but caught offside. This welcome return to form in matchups with 1860 in Dritte Liga. Although they're 2 defeats in a row, we're on trips to Bavaria, 8 goals conceded, just 1 scored. But now looking for a clinching third. Dana does well, but now it breaks, and he's out of position. Fassmann off the line to deny Cottbus a third. Chachi so close to a 15th of the season. Not hanging around though on ceremony. This was a horrible back from Font. Dana did well, but then it was Chachi who got onto it, clipped it goalwards. But Fassmann alert to the danger. 1860. No, they have no room for error if they're to get back into this. Fassmann's had to come on and play the rescue man. That is a very sad bit of news for Energie Cottbus fans. Yanis Bazarius having to go off injured. They'll be desperate that that's just more of a precaution than anything else. So heading on plenty of experience heading on. It's a double change. It's Justin Butler, the first to come on. He's joined by Rohrig. Henry Rohrig replacing Moritz Hannemann as Dieter Voets wants to make sure they keep things calm, but a third goal would certainly provide the ultimate cushion. No such luck on this occasion. So there's confirmation. Bosiaris seeing Justin Butler head on. Another corner swung in low, flicked on. Folland with a swipe, but it's falling kindly for Hogan. Really needed to shift that, instead ran into trouble. Rohrig with his first meaningful touch. Borgman. Oh, a little tug that's not enough to put Butler down, but not advisable. That's lovely play. Engelhardt skipped between two, but can't find a fellow red and white as Danoff happy to accept the free kick. Well, here was Butler laying it off, and Engelhardt, no wonder he's feeling full of confidence. Switch of play. Clemens Lippmann needing to create something. The youngster goes to Folland, who doesn't get it right at all. Long-suffering Lions fans, starved of much to get their teeth into in the first half. Better from Kaczynski's side, but only once they're 2-0 down and really feeling the pressure from any mistakes at the back. Fassman twice to the rescue. Oh, you can see Reinthaler stepping into midfield. Here he is, having drawn out to the left-hand flank. Exchanges with Othos. Fassman. Danoff, can he keep it in? Does so. Does well to poke it into the 18-yard box. And now three Lions snapping at the heels, but only at the expense of a free kick. Cerci waits for the support of the substitute Rohrig, drives it in low, sliced behind by Voet. Energie Cottbus. No, a goal will finish this contest. The question will be, can 1860 get their further subs on without further damage inflicted? Folland not hanging around, thumps it onto the halfway line. Simon Straudi being careful to get it back to Marius Funk. Keeper happy to see that loose ball was picked up. Long searching ball, but Danov won't get there. So the opportunity to get the substitutes on. Florian Niederlechner preparing to head on as he stands aside. Marvin Rittmuller. So Rittmuller on, as is Niederlechner. Confirmation of the changes. Energie Cottbus look for a match-winning clincher. Lovely little dummy, the bobble around, and it is a disaster for Thomas Dana and the Lions, because it's Energie Cottbus who are roaring their way to a massive 3 points, and it is hard to see past the clear man of the match when you keep sticking it in the back of the net, but he got a massive helping hand. Jerchi's ball finding Pelvin. Lovely pass as Borgman found himself on the right, but swung it in, and Engelhardt didn't think he would, but he got 2 bites at the cherry. And the top marksman for Cottbus just cannot stop scoring. A treble on the night. Volitz and Energie putting 1860 to the sword. Well, now he's just 1 goal behind Lars Gendorf in the scoring charts. I'd like to see what Alemannia Aachen can do away to Saarbrücken tomorrow night. The way things are going is confirmation of Danov heading off for Rittmuller. It is really taking all the wind out of the sails of an improvement in performance from 1860, but ultimately nothing to show for it, and now it may be about damage limitation. So as it stands, it's looking like a very good night for Cottbus and Rot-Van Essen. Duisburg leading league leaders Osnabrück, which could leave Energie just 4 points behind first place and remain a point adrift of Essen. Cottbus, who have been slipping back in big part due to their lack of home wins. But after 4 without, this is a huge return to form at the Energie Stadion, as Cottbus have replicated the scoreline. They lost to 1860 in Bavaria, and will certainly back themselves to score more, especially when you see the desperate mistake from Thomas Dana, showing the panic, and Engelhardt having been just denied with the easiest task of thumping it in on the line. Dana this time happy to see that ball plucked up into his hands. Lovely clip ball from Mitchell Brink. Borgman looking to improvise. That's Muller. Good composure after a heavy touch. So Rob van Essen leading 2-0 at Schweinfurt. Most importantly, Duisburg winning at home to Osnabrück. The Zebras themselves fourth in the table. Jachi trying to find a way through. Calls mainly from the crowd for a penalty that weren't coming. And is there going to be a flag? Well, it won't matter. The ball's run out. Jachi trying to bundle into Othos, who's left the hat-trick hero Engelhardt down on the deck. This is first hat-trick of the season, having scored 3 braces in the campaign. He's edging towards 100 appearances for Cottbus. His 94th appearance. He now has 45 goals. Much like his coach, a former Osnabrück, who are trying to hunt them down. It's amazing that before tonight, Engelhardt had scored as many goals this season as he had managed in his previous appearances at Dritte Liga. Well, he's now clearly outstripped that. 19 goals and a hat-trick to boot. Lippmann breaks kindly though for Mitchell Brink. Tried the little nutmeg, but on this occasion not working out. Fighting back to block. So Engelhardt's first ever Dritte Liga hat-trick as Energie Cottbus on easy street and looking for more. Justin Butler, oh, Engelhardt, he's going left, he's going right. Fortunately, let's see where the ball was. No home wins in the entirety of February or March. But April has seen Cottbus rediscover a spring in their step. 1860, after 5 straight wins, are now looking at 4 winless with just 1 point in that sequence. Again, Cottbus hitting the 60-point mark. And if things stay as they are, it will remain 3 points clear of Duisburg in 4th, and just 4 points off the top spot. Dritte Liga title would be a major achievement. They'll just be desperate to finish in the top 2. Chance to drive. Borgman, the captain, leading by example. Oh, it's a lovely pick out. But Butler a little too safe with his finish. Dana quick to spread it to Rittmuller. Looks for a 1-2. Forlund. Forced all the way back. Jakobsen. Forlund. It's going to be an almighty comeback for 1860 to get anything from this match. Trying to start now. Forlund with the overhead kick. Oh, what a block! Couple of brilliant saves from Marius Funk. How has he kept his clean sheet intact? The keeper initially here with a good foot there, but this is even better. getting down to deny Neder Lechner right in the 6-yard box. No wonder he was roaring. As Butler wished she'd done a little bit more with his finish. Marius Funk joining the club at the start of the campaign, after for a short period of him being clubless. Looking for successive clean sheets. The first time this season. So Samuel Altos picking up a yellow card. 20-year-old leaving the boot in and having his name taken. Wonderful display around the Energie Stadion. 15 minutes remaining, and their side are well in control. Down the line, but out of the reach of Forland. Breaks for Altos. Rittmuller. Kevin Forland. Rittmuller is making a big run and it creates a little bit of space. It's a lovely ball. Oh, that's drilled across the post. Oh, Neder Lechner. Denied by Funk. Now by the post. Altos. Funk able to let that run behind. Oh, this was a brilliant strike on the turn. But so unlucky as Neder Lechner unable to get just a third goal of the campaign. Well, there'll certainly be a hero's welcome from the bench for Engelhardt. His first ever Dritte Liga hat-trick. And that leaves Cottbus well in command, 3-0 up as he takes the applause. A perfect striking performance in the right place at the right time. And now replacing him for the final part of the match. Opportunity for some minutes. Well, an excellent night's work, that's for sure. (1960) have to keep going, even despite the fact it's surely beyond them. Forland showing that little bit of desperation to make something happen. Oof, hard night's work. 3 and easy, 19 now for the season to down Kosinski's Lions. Altos Certainly looks a prospect. Folland manages to get back on it, but his spin only presents the ball back to the hosts. Otas back to Fassmann. Wanted it back, but it's spread instead to Reinthaler. Little nudge there is dug out by Lippmann. Couldn't do much more with it. Confirmation, Engelhardt replaced by Ted Tattersmush. And then Savicnovic on, and it's the former who just can't find a better finish. The 24-year-old stepping off the bench, yet to get a goal this campaign. Just a 16th appearance. That one well wide. Joined in the summer. Did get an assist on matchday 2 in a victory away at Scheinweinfurt. Only recently has been getting a few more minutes. 3-0 scoreline certainly meaning there's an opportunity afforded. Straudi. Bit of space as we see Straudi switch to the left back role, and it's a run here that Dana had to track with a bit of pressure from Tattermush. Kevin Forland plays it behind and out for a throw. Not been his or 1860s night. Cuts in field. Spread it out to Straudi. Lays it off for Borgman. Driving through the middle. Oh, that almost ran kindly for Butland. Fassmann, a vital touch there. The American would have been in. Kevin Forland's night is over. Desperately disappointing night. Brought to a premature end. Samuel Manu, back to Funk. It's like being back-to-back 3-0 wins, let alone goal not conceded, as Patrick Hobbs, of course, coming on to replace Forland. 6 goals this campaign. Lost his starting place tonight. Comes on with not much more than a consolation to try and hunt. Funk with a lovely ball out to Borgman. Taking a central position after all the substitutions. Good run from Tattermush. Cuts inside. Has a chance to strike for a goal. Certainly plenty of purchase, but it was always rising. Was hoping for a bit of dip. Not so fortunate in the final reckoning. The Olays around the Energie Stadion, and no wonder. Straudi steps into midfield. Rorik. Svjetnovic making a darting run forward, but Rorik electing to keep it simple. That's almost giving an opportunity. 1860 fortunate to keep possession. Fassman. Voigt. Back to Dana. Certainly be thinking back over that handling error that allowed the third goal, but it may have been the game clincher, but 1860 were always going to struggle to outscore Cottbus in this half. Rittmüller fires it into feet. Patrick Hobsch. Rittmüller digs out a cross. Oh, there's got to be a goal! And it is just summing up the night for the visitors. Sigurd Hogan smashing over inside the 6-yard box. Well, it missed the first port of call in Hobsch. There were two options, but the third should have seen a 13th goal for the Norwegian. Seemed to be off balance. And that sums up a forgettable night at Cottbus. Straudi celebrating. Fist pumps for the crowd. High fives for the coaching staff. So Anderson, Lokokki heading on, facing his former side that he left in September 2025. And now comes on Lokokki to see his former employers at the end of a 3-0 defeat. Only made 12 appearances for the club. This is 24th for Cottbus as he now puts the pressure on Rittmüller. Allows him to play it out as Hobsch able to find Jorgensen. Jakobsen. Final couple of minutes, plus stoppage time. But Cottbus have had this game won for an awful long time. Referee just waited to see where the ball ran for offering up a free kick. Well, Waving out the lights. It's certainly lights out for 1860. As Cottbus's Eric Engelhardt put them to the sword with a treble. Is there to be a late consolation for the long-suffering travelling support? Swung in, flicked on. Eventually, in the grateful hands of Marius Funk. Lighting the way, they hope, to the second tier of German football. A huge result, not just in terms of doing their own job, but Osnabrück still trailing Duisburg as Rot-Ver Essen have mirrored Cottbus's 3-0 victory at Schweinfurt. 4 points separate the top three, and Duisburg have kept themselves in contention, just 3 points shy of Cottbus if things stay as they are. What a game it'll be tomorrow night between Ferl and Hansa Rostock. Two clubs hoping themselves to close the gap on the top four. But 1860 look to be bidding goodnight to any hopes of forcing their way into the conversation. So tomorrow night, we'll certainly see the goal-getters of Alemannia Aachen away at Saarbrücken. Now Eric Engelhardt has split Lars Gendorf and Mika Scherars. But also that unmissable match, Ferl Hansa Rostock, both live. And of course the highlight show to round up the matchday 32 action in this massive week. After the weekend action this midweek, and then back the Friday, Saturday, Sunday fair as we head towards the Dritte Liga season conclusion. Marius Funk not exactly in a rush. Hollitz will certainly make the most of this return to home winning ways. The full-time whistle sounds. Claude Dieter Vollitz has not only seen his side to victory thanks to Eric Engelhardt's hat-trick, a first in Dritte Liga for him, but it's back-to-back 3-0 wins, it's back-to-back clean sheets for the first time in the campaign. Everything looking rosy in the Energie Cottbus garden, as they are now just 4 points off the top if Duisburg do indeed hold on to defeat league leaders Osnabrück. For 1860, it's 4 winless after they'd gone 5 winning, and they look out of the promotion chat because Energie Cottbus have won handsomely. Engelhardt, the hero. 3-0, the final score.